All right. So we're gonna move on from that, and we have not really articles again. It was more of just some game reveals, and we watched some videos of like gameplay and just talking about the game itself. So we were originally supposed to talk about the reveal last week of Deathloop and how the gameplay actually works and everything. So we're gonna talk about it now this week. With Deathloop, it explains more about how the gameplay works when it comes to spending one day trying to assassinate all these people. So it's kind of like a Hitman style game, except what did it call it? Like it was like a roguelike Hitman. So you're trying to get all these people
Sci-fi.
you're
What do you
trying to get
call
all
it?
these people together or as close as possible to try to kill as many all at once in one day before like somebody catches wind of you and then they kind of try to escape or try to hide or make things difficult for you to assassinate the next person. You're stuck in a time loop, so you have to kill these targets within that one day in order to break the time loop. Now the catch is also on the trailer is that is a little PvP element, which I think is really cool, is that people will
Mm-hmm.
be joining your game, basically sabotaging you, trying to stop you from
Like,
killing these hitmen. Hitmen, these targets. So with all that information and stuff, I thought it was really cool, and I was wondering what is your thoughts on that as well. And we start with Danny.
I like the concept of you having to. It's like the ultimate hitman for people who like those games. It's you
Mm-hmm.
having to prep your targets. It's supposedly you have to go to certain, like you have the option, like a Mega Man type thing, where you can choose any level or any part of the world or whatever you want
And the
to
time
go
as
that
well.
day. And the time, yeah, and the time as well, because when you do something and during at night, it affects what, or do something at day, it affects how they're gonna come to at night. So the whole idea is that if you can get two or three people in the same area at night because you did X, Y, and Z in the morning, you know, that's how you assassinate three, and then you keep going. And the way the game progresses is that you gain every time you go to do something, you gain knowledge about where they're gonna be, so you can get that perfect run, that perfect day. And I
Mm.
can see that being interesting because you can get all shaky and shit, and then okay, I'm gonna do it. I'm finally gonna, finish this day. I think I got everybody set up, and it seems kind of interesting. I mean, I probably won't play it. I'm not gonna lie to you
Really?
because
Mm-hmm.
it seems like a lot. Like I can't play the Hitman games because it's thinking
Too time
like
consuming?
and all types of shit. Yeah, it seems way too consuming for me. It
Mm.
seems fun. It's just I don't think I can really fully get into it the way it's supposed to.
Mm-hmm.
That's just me though. I mean, but I can see if I had resources to actually think and play the game. I think I would like it.
Okay.
I don't think I'm going to.
Okay. Randy, what about you?
And I recall also the PvP was interesting because the PvP they said it's basically the version of Dark Souls and how they do PvP
Yeah.
where it comes in just
Yeah.
fuck with you and you gain XP or whatever the hell you get.
with
Whatever it
like
is.
invaders and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Um, that reminds me of another game. Also, didn't do too good. This one's pretty shit.
Hmm.
Mindjack,
Ooh.
Hmm.
where basically you were able to kind of like fuck with people's games and like play as an NPC and just like try to kill them if anything.
Mm-hmm.
The concept was interesting. It was just executed very poorly.
Mm-hmm.
But
Ah.
no, it seems pretty. It looks like a good game. Every time like they show something off about it, whether it's like another trailer or whatever, it's never anything that's so like, oh, get hyped about this. But they show enough that could still pique your interest, just in case like it wavered a little bit, if anything,
Hmm.
because they're pacing themselves really well with like what they're showing and what they're not.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's still a lot left to like the imagination and to find out for yourself in playing. Clearly, I had a different grasp than Danny did on how it works because I thought it was you had to complete it in that set kind of thing because it's
You know, it's like
what
time
is it?
limited.
Yeah. Like if you pick the map in the day, that's when you have to complete it. Not that
Hmm.
like what you did in a day can carry over into the night
Hmm.
because it was like what four different variations of each map.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
Which leads to about 16 different ways to. I
yeah,
think they said 16. Yeah.
yeah, because
Mm-hmm.
it's four different maps with four different variations each. So I thought that it was just like you have to finish it in finish one of the maps in one of its 4 variations. But if it's like from start to finish and playing the whole thing throughout all 4, that's pretty cool actually.
Yeah.
Because then
Yeah,
it's
it's
like
supposed to be.
one
Yeah.
big level that has all these different like factors into it. Because obviously everything has its like control factors where
Mhm.
if this thing is happening in the first part and it's not going to happen in the second part, but now it's going to change because what you did in the first and the third is totally fucking
Yeah.
different because of all this. That's like that's some that's a lot of possibilities to play the fucking thing
It is.
through.
Mhm.
And I agree, and that's the aspect that I like about it. I like that. Like I want to see somebody play it. I don't want to play it myself. I want to see somebody play it.
Dude, then just fucking tune in to the Drunken Guardian Gaming stream. Come on. Danny over here is going to be playing it for us.
Wait, who's that?
Plug.
It'll be fun. And then it'll
Who's
be,
the Drunken Guardian?
Guardian.
I think it'll be
It's
interesting
our
to
host,
see.
Danny Martino.
Oh,
Yeah, and I
jeez.
might try it a little bit. I might buy it and try it a little bit. We'll see. It depends on what's out at the time.
Are you going to rent it from Blockbuster?
I wish, man. Think about
Game,
and
hey,
that bitch and
Yeah, I was gonna say
GameFly. GameFly is still alive.
No,
I
is
have-
it?
GameFly is still alive.
I
Gamefly is
love
still
my
alive.
GameFly and oops, I delivered this. I mailed the game back. I don't know what's wrong with you. Sorry. Do that
Yeah.
Maybe
3
it
times in a
got
row,
lost.
They cut your service off, and then you do a new email.
Yeah, right.
Mm,
Yeah.
And they're like, wait, this address looks familiar.
just hacking the system, huh?
They
Huh.
when I told you the address,
123
your
Fake
address,
Street.
It said your
Oh man,
address
I
has
need
been
to know where.
compromised, blah
There
blah
we go.
blah. And then I realized that if you use somebody else's name and either the address, then it still does it.
Mm.
All right, Kevin. What about you? What do you think of the news?
Okay, cool. I had to keep my excitement away because I didn't want to interrupt anybody, and I was just trying to keep my thoughts focused. So
Yeah, go ahead.
I okay. No. Go ahead. Go first.
No, I was just gonna
What do you
say
want?
that at least you're the patient one there.
No, because I seen the concept of it, and it immediately in the I don't know why, but that snapped, and the first thing I thought was Dying Light. So in Dying Light, they had the system that you can be invaded by a monster, and the monster is another player.
I did not
But the
know that.
player is yes, and the player is just as smart or smarter than you. So when the monster invades you, it becomes a game of cat and mouse. So if you can kill the monster, then he leaves, and then you can continue your mission. But while the monster is there, you cannot complete the mission, and you have to kill him. And if he kills you a certain amount of times, then that's it. You failed the mission. Everybody gets kicked from the lobby, and then you have to start the mission, or you have to start the mission again because everybody died. That's what I thought when I saw the PvP aspect of the Deathloop. But the concept of it being like 16 different, 16 ways to play the game out, and it's like some ways will work, some ways won't. Uh, I'm trying to figure out if it's a rogue like that every day will be random, every event will be random, or would it be like day is going to be the same, night's going to be the same, evening's going to be the same. I mean,
No.
day, morning, so it's going to be completely different every time.
Yes, depending on the time of day,
Okay.
influences where they're at, what they're doing. They're going about the day as normal unless you're influencing what they're doing to change their
Okay.
course.
And then I guess you get information that automatically will influence what they're doing, so it'll make
Yeah.
getting passcodes and like that for stuff that you can only access. Like they showed an example, I think it was save or something that you can only access at night, and it has some kind of information about where somebody's going to be. So you have to get the code basically in the day, and then at night get the save, restart the loop to utilize the information you now have.
So it would be like, for example, a certain guard would have the code, right? Like just for example, the certain guard will have a code. You kill the guard that day, so when you come back at night, you can go to the safe, unlock the safe, and then get whatever you get, and then continue the mission.
Yeah, because
But
that
it won't
safe
be-
because that safe could
That's how
possibly
they have.
go
I was
ahead.
gonna say, I think that's how they have levels as well. Is that you start off with in town A, whatever it is, and you keep doing whatever, you get as much information you can until they tell you, okay, in town B, so and so is going to be there. So you now have to find more information in town B, but then you have to go back to town A to get probably more information to go to town B, and every level kind of unlocks until you can get this perfect day.
Yeah, I was gonna say like because that safe that you're talking about, for example, it could have been guarded by 3 people, and you have the code, but you can't really get around these three people. So maybe you wait until a certain time or influence what their let's say the patrol routes or something, so they can get away from that safe, and then you jump in and kind of take advantage.
Because they're
Okay.
also making it sound like they keep stressing that it's not a roguelike, that you're not gonna die and have to restart it over and over and over and over in
Yeah.
order
But
to
that
learn it. So I think it's based. It really is. Yes, technically the whole world was in a day, but you have to do. You basically have to finish level A to get to level B, and you're basically gonna be able to do almost everything you can do in level A while you're there. You might have
okay.
to go back and forth a little bit, but
Mm.
it's not gonna be a lot of repetition.
Yeah, because
You
that's
know.
no that's what I was asking. Like, is every day going to be like every I would say time, I guess, would be the same, like would the exact same events happen unless you
Yeah.
influence it?
Yeah.
Unless you influence it, right? Like if I
Yeah.
go to like
Unless you,
whatever, then it would change.
Yes.
Okay.
yeah, exactly. So that's why
Okay.
it's gonna be interesting. That's why I kind of do want to play it because I can't play Hitman. It's just too much setup stuff. Way too much slow
So
paced
if it's
setup,
a little
and
bit
this
more
is not
fast
like that.
paced,
So
if it's a little bit more fast paced to the point where like you don't really have to think as much or wait as much, then you're okay with that.
yeah, because it has cool powers and stuff and all this crazy stuff that I want to try. So I do want to try it.
Yeah.
Like even like Returnal, like I've been having trouble going back to it because so much repetition of you doing the same shit over and over until you get the perfect run to finish.
Yeah.
And to me, it's just you can't do that. So if it's just more fast paced with the it's like one of those linear but not linear games kind of thing
Hmm.
where you do have to do X, Y, and Z in order to get to A or whatever, or A B C in order to get to D.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I would do that, but we'll see.
All right. All right. Done with that one there. We're gonna go on to